You're beautiful.
Oh shit.
Better looking than Dylan's.
Oh, okay.
Hey. What's that supposed to mean?
Okay, that should be.
Microphone.
Yeah, that should be.
Microphone.
Microphone.
Okay, so you do that. See if there are any.
Mic.
Or can hear anything.
Microphone.
Tip. Well, we are getting sound, it sounds like.
Microphone.
Ba-doop boop. Ba-doop boop boop. Ba-doop boop boop.
Ba-doop boop. Ba-doop boop.
I hear booping.
Boop boop. Ba-doop boop. Boop boop.
You need to like squish your your chin's getting cut off, yo. That's perfect.
That's
Look
why
at
I
that
asked
dumbass
how's
hat.
my face.
I said it was hideous. You didn't ask
that's
how
not-
your face was
That's
framed.
not what I meant.
No, my bad.
They got me.
And for some reason, my streaming of our stream is terrible. But
But your stream doesn't matter. Is that
nah.
what I'm hearing? Adam is the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man. Adam is the Muffin Man.
I really think our pre-podcast banter is the best.
Where is Adam?
Can you hear us?
I believe they can. I mean, no one's actually said that, but when I...
Go.
Damn, we're getting all professional
Now
now.
I don't have to spit all over it.
Well, you guys are super poppy.
Oh.
That's okay.
I'm
it's just the mics.
so poppy.
Now
This
I'm
thing's
poppy.
like even more aggressive and scary than it was before.
Like that Marcy
Do I have to like talk louder
Big and
now?
black and in your face.
Damn.
Yeah, I can't even see over this thing.
That's stupid. Okay.
I was serious.
Last week, because I was on my laptop, I could only get my built-in camera to work. And so like my view was like this giant microphone just covering my face. It was perfect.
Yeah, it happens.
It actually was better.
I am a giant microphone.
Yeah, no, I unmuted and I heard sound.
Oh,
so
yeah.
my presumption is that it's working.
It's twerking.
Hey, look, there's Kevin.
My name is Mike.
Hi, Kevin. Rocket League this Sunday, by the way.
Rocket League this Sunday.
Yes.
Oh, shoot. Can I run and grab a couple of cough drops real fast?
Yes, please do, because I was just going to ask
I
if I
don't-
could get some too.
I don't want to listen to either of you.
Well, you're about to for 90 minutes,
90 whole minutes? Jeez.
at least. Avoid monkeys in Florida because they could give you killer herpes.
Jeez. That's the worst headline
Oh,
ever.
that's funny. Do, 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 do.
Youch.
Yo!
My team sucks.
All right, we got the necessary...
accoutrement.
Yes.
Oh.
Ooh, picante.
Why is it so janky?
I don't know, mine is too. It's not... I think it's our speed here.
At the station?
Yeah,
I think
we're not dropping any frames.
Our Wi-Fi is...
So...
But we're not Wi-Fi. We're
Janky.
plugged in, bro. Oh, that's Wi-Fi.
Well,
But still.
I'm Wi-Fi here too. I'm actually going to turn off low latency on mine. I think that's what's causing the problem.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
Much better.
Picks back up. It means that we're like 10 seconds behind everyone commenting, but
Or whatever.
whatever. All right.
Okay.
I should pull up the show notes. Are we loud enough to, like, this? Does this make us quieter?
Oh, no, I've already tweaked the levels.
Dang, you're good, Adam.
Uh-huh.
Tweaking
That's
the
what
level.
they say.
This thing's just
Huge. Big.
It's more like it took me probably 5 or
Fly.
7 episodes to get used to having this thing right here, and now it's just gotten significantly scarier.
Why is it scarier?
I don't know, it's giant.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't even know.
yeah, it's just big.
Don't know.
I wouldn't even say.
It's just big.
Just not used to it.
Don't be afraid of it. Let it happen.
I'm a little afraid.
Just let it happen. It's okay.
Just calm down. It'll be fine.
All right. So, are we... So we're mixering.
We're mixering.
Hello.
To you mixer people.
How many mixer people are we have right now?
One.
How do I do the thing?
You hit the little button or 3 list thing, and then you can see, hey, there's Kevin.
I'll need to sign in, though.
You know
That
what?
would do it.
Do you?
I think I do.
That'll do.
I don't know.
That'll do.
Anyway.
That'll do. Yep, and then there's a little 3 little button
There you
thinger.
go.
Doobadoobadoor.
That'll do.
Yep.
That'll
Scotty
do.
Bot? Who's that? What is that?
It's a bot.
Okay. I'm there, and so is Kevin.
Yay!
Sweet.
Should we do a podcast?
Let's do a podcast. Let's talk about video games.
Vidja games.
Vidja. What are those?
They're cool things. Welcome back, Adam.
Thank
We
you.
missed you. It was,
Yeah. Missed you too.
it was scary doing it without you. I had to sit in the big chair with the big mic.
Going
A boss
on.
came through and made fun of me because I was sitting in the big chair with the big mic.
Well, now your mic is bigger.
You know, it's actually huge now, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
okay.
If you're watching on Mixer, you'll notice 2 giant pop screens on Cliff and Dylan's microphone.
Because apparently we're poppy.
Yes.
No.
You're very, very aggressive with your P's
Someone
and your
complained.
B's and your T's.
Someone told us it was almost unlistenable.
I
And
know.
then-
Like,
and then
that was
a-
like 5 episodes into when we started the show, so here
No,
we are.
it was like 20 episodes ago.
Well, still, it's
Yeah.
almost a year later, and they're like, "Oh, let's fix that thing that one guy complained about that one time way back when."
I
nobody
asked like
cared."
10 other people, I'm like, are we unlistenable? He's like, no, you sound fine.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed when I was listening driving around, like I always like listen to the show after it's posted and just kind of listen to it. I'm like, oh, yeah.
Did you notice last episode that I sounded like I'd eaten a frog and that I was coughing every 5 minutes?
I'm not caught up yet.
Oh.
That's how behind I am.
I actually stopped listening to our episodes at about episode 12.
Really?
Yeah. I listen to so many other podcasts, though.
It was kind of like, hey, I was there. I know what we talked about.
Yeah.
It's not. I listened to it for a
I
little
will
bit,
say,
so-
though, that I listen to our episodes and I'm like, you're funny. I don't feel funny in real time, but
you look
listening,
funny.
I look funny. If you're watching on Mixer, you know that I am funny.
Yeah, we don't have the laugh track in here.
Yeah, but
I can easily edit that in.
that's going to be amazing.
Man, watching those situational comedies without the laugh track is the most painful.
my
Did you
gosh.
just call it a situational comedy?
He did.
That's what it's called.
He's a professional video person.
Just a very specifically like.
Those are the ones with the laugh tracks. I could have said sitcom, yes, but
Yeah.
He didn't want to be like
87% of the rest
the
of the country knows
normies.
them.
Yeah.
plebes.
That's just a completely random number. I don't even know.
Anyway,
Anyway, welcome to the Bite Me Podcast. We're going to talk about some video games. My name is Adam West, and I am
and better than
in
ever.
the
I don't know about
saddle
that,
again.
Better than ever.
Ready to giddy up and yeehaw all over here.
Both see, it's great that now there's 2 of the 3 of us are sucking on cough drops like there's
Yeah.
some sort of thing.
I'm just making so I don't cough. Like my voice sounds fine. I just don't want to cough.
I think I'm still kind of yeah.
I'm pretending not to be sick right now.
Right. The Pacific Northwest is apparently a hive of sickness. So
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, back to what I was saying. I'm Adam West.
I'm Cliff.
And I'm the Dylan.
Hello.
Episode 60. Big 60.
Big 6-0. 5 dozen.
That is true.
5 dozen episodes.
Our podcast will also be eligible for AARP now.
I thought it would have been eligible like 5 episodes ago.
Oh, is it 55 now? Wow.
Yeah.
The
We're
older
closer-
getting younger.
Yeah, we're closer to retirement than we were.
At 65, we're just done.
We're just done. At 65, we're going to start taking, Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security.
Yeah.
God.
I think 2055 is my retirement year, according to my 401k plan.
What year?
2055.
Oh my God.
Wow.
It's 30,
I looked at it. I was like,
33
is that
more
what that
years?
means?
No, 37 more
Mine
years.
probably says 2085.
Yeah.
I'll be, 97.
Right?
All
Mine's
right.
going to be like 20 years after you die.
Yeah. I started putting 1% away like last year.
Me too.
Yeah. We're not.
I'm putting away, what is it? Up to
4%.
4%, and then ours, yeah. So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm screwed.
I'm aggressive.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Is that what that means?
Yeah.
sure. So here we go. Coming up this week, we're going to talk about PUBG making it a little bit harder to cheat, and also their loot boxes. I was reading about this. There's one randomized one that's just a ridiculously random amount. HTC announced their new Vive Pro, and also they announced that new tracking, the outward tracking thing.
Oh, I did not see that. Well,
I'm really excited about that. GeForce Now launches in beta on PC, and I read about that. This could be a game changer. Kinect, I thought we already buried that thing.
We're killing it again.
Okay.
It was going to be dead, and now it's dead.
Do you know who Oliver Cromwell is? He was an English guy in the 1600s who was awful. He kidnapped a bunch of Irish people and forced them into servitude in the islands off the Caribbean. They hated him so much that he died. A couple years later, they dug up the corpse and beheaded him. That's what we're doing to the Kinect now.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Why
how you know people
that
hate
story?
you. I don't know.
History.
Flogging Molly wrote a song about him.
Oh, gotcha. There is a Battle Royale Trainer that I've actually been kind of curious about because I dove back into PUBG the last week on PC, and I'm in that. Anyway, I'll talk about that and what we're playing. But yeah, so it's a trainer, and I think that could be helpful for a lot of people. Plus some Overwatch news and questions from Vinny, Josh, Joe Coleslaw, Mighty Wepa Man, Kevin Colby, and we've got some cheap free games, plus a troll corner.
Yeah, Adam's personal troll corner.
Was this mine?
That's mine.
Oh, no. Oh, interesting.
It's
funny.
more. It's a joke.
Well, mine's not. And I'll tell you why when we get to Troll Corner later on in the show.
Well, it might not be a joke, but I kind of threw it up
Tonight
there
at 11.
Right? That's about the time we're going to finish if we keep drawing this out.
Right? God.
So anyway, we always start with what we're playing, and I'll just go first.
Do it.
Yeah. Well, let's see. What have I been playing? What
Did you
just
hear that?
happened? Did you
hear that?
No,
I wasn't.
stomach just growled loud,
Was
but I
that
think
your
the
stomach?
microphone picked it up. Jesus.
It's been like a whole 3 hours since we had lunch.
Wow.
Oh, is that a long time?
No.
That was a joke.
Oh.
Anyway.
So what I'm playing
Anyway.
is like I said, I've jumped back into PUBG. I've been playing that on the Xbox a little bit, and I've never understood the whole rubber banding thing. Is that when you take 10 steps forward and then all of a sudden you can't jump back?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought, and that happens a lot on the Xbox for me.
Interesting.
But it's still kind of fun. I think I've killed one person.
Yeah.
Because I'm just, oh my god, what am I doing? So there's that. It's been fun.
It's fun.
It's been a lot of
It's
fun.
real fun.
But I jumped back on the PC version of it last week and started playing around. I didn't realize that when they updated the map and they threw in that new map, you weren't able to choose which map to go
it's
to.
just random.
Yeah.
You just jump in.
Is it
you don't know
ran-
where you're parachuting.
Is it?
You just jump out of the plane.
Is it a random map or is it always the new map?
No, it's random.
Oh, really? Because every time I've played this past week, it's always been the new
Really?
map.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, I
every
can't
time.
say that the percentage is equal or if they throw the one in more often or if it's completely random. I think it's random. But yeah, I'll find myself playing the new map 6 times in a row and then I'll get the old map.
That is how random works.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
So
And it was kind of weird going back into that game because I've not played it for a while on PC, and I was like, oh crap, I'm in the new map. I don't know where anything is. I don't know where. What is this? Oh my god, there's nothing for me to hide behind. I'm going to die a lot. But that's been fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Been playing
So
some
you
Mario
played some-
Odyssey still.
Oh, man.
I'm still so much. There's
how many
still so
power
much.
moons do you have?
I think I'm right at 200.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good job.
So I'm at Bowser's Castle.
Oh, so you actually haven't finished the
No, not
the
yet.
main story
I'm
yet.
literally at the end of the game, the end of the campaign, basically. So
That's crazy. I was talking to a friend of the show, Ryan Thomas, this morning on Twitter, and he was saying that between him and his wife, they have 362 power moons.
Crazy.
See, that doesn't strike me as a lot, though.
I don't know, man.
Because there's, 900 of them?
Right, it's not necessarily a
of them?
lot in the scope of the game, but like...
It's a lot to
When
get.
have you ever collected 360 of anything? I don't have that many Pez's in my Pez collection.
Wait, you have a Pez collection?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, you would have loved our
So
old
does my
HR
brother.
lady.
Yeah.
Did
We bonded over that one.
Do you remember our old HR
Yeah, she was-
business lady? Oh, she was not a lovely human, that's for sure. But she had a ridiculously crazy Pez dispenser collection throughout her entire office when I first came here.
Oh, I just knew she had that one huge one. I didn't know she had other ones.
No. When I first moved here, she literally had the top of every file cabinet, her windowsill overlooking the parking lot next door or the hotel next door, and like her desk and shelves literally covered in Pez dispensers. And I had this like special 4-pack Batman one, and I was like, I'm going to give it to the nice HR lady who turned out to be the devil.
That's
I
crazy.
need to get back into that because
Do you though?
I have a box of them from when I was younger. I haven't I occasionally get one now, but I got the whole Fellowship of the Ring.
Well, that's fun.
In a
Anyway,
box.
that's really what I've been playing is some PUBG and Mario. That's really
not bad, man.
It's not.
It's not bad
I
at
mean,
all.
it's keeping me busy. There's plenty to do. So
You, me,
whoever.
you
me. I finished The Witcher 3,
I saw that.
which is
applause.
kind of incredible actually. Just because it's it's not crazy long. I would say I don't actually have a counter, but I would say probably 50 or 60 hours. But that's a long time for me to put into any game these days. And it was great. The story's fantastic. Everything keeps up the entire time. It makes you want to keep playing it. It's good enough that I actually feel kind of bad that I skipped a bunch of side quests to get to the end because I wanted to get to the end. It was kind of one of those games I wanted to like check mark. I wanted to say I finished it because I wanted to finish it, and so I just started mainlining the main quest. And there are parts of it where it kind of says like, hey, if you keep going, a bunch of your quests are just going to fail. Like you can't go back. And it was like, okay, and hit the button. It also does a really interesting thing where it says like, hey, this next part's really a big deal. You might want to save right now.
Oh, really?
Like right before the end. I'm like, what? That was very nice of you.
Right. Thank
CD
you.
Projekt Red. But the ending is very, very satisfying. The story plays out really well. And there are multiple endings. I don't know which one I got. I know that there are certain points in the story where you have to make a quick decision, which is unfortunate because they're often in the middle of just other conversations, and I wasn't always paying as much attention to those as I should have been. And so a couple of them were like, make a decision. I'm like, oh, crap. And I just like fumble in something. And I know sometimes I made the right one and sometimes I made the wrong one. And, I got an ending, but I liked the ending I got. So that was cool. I also, I checkmarked that one, and so my next checkmark game is GTA 5. So I'm working back through that one. I just got Trevor, and Trevor is the most amazing character in the world in that game.
The first scene when
you literally unlock Trevor, and he's like doing it with
just
some
plowing
meth
a
head,
meth head
and it's not his meth head. It's another guy in his gang's meth head.
the guy from
The rival gang, yeah.
Well, it's the you play as him in the episode of the Lost in the Damned expansion.
Oh, do you?
GTA 4.
Oh, yeah.
That's the gang that you play in that game, and
Yeah.
then he makes his appearance and then quickly is disposed.
Yeah, it like his just the intro to his story is great, and it's great because it comes quite a ways into the main game. Like,
Right.
I mean, you don't get Trevor straight off.
They know how to tease you because from seeing like the trailer.
Yeah.
There's this crazy guy. Everyone knows that
Yeah.
Trevor's in this game, but you kind of hear about him, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah,
it's like, oh, that's what this guy
yeah,
is.
it's good stuff. So I'm just working on that. Then the other game I played though was actually really cool. And Asper Media or Asper Productions, I don't know, Asper something, sent us a bunch of keys for this game, and I gave a bunch away on Facebook, and I gave away some on Twitter, and I kept some for myself, and I gave a couple of streamers I know, and it's called Next Up Hero, and it's a really, really interesting concept of a game, and it's you kind of start out and you've got all these levels, and throughout these levels there's monsters, and you have to clear the level multiple different ways, but there's also multiple different heroes you can play as. And so the first time it might just be kill a certain number of bad guys to exit this level. And then the next time you play that level, it might be kill a certain number of bad guys in a certain amount of time. And then kill a certain number of bad guys to get this kind of essence that they drop. And then the next one might be that same level but with a giant boss. And then there's all these different levels. But then the different characters have different attacks too. Like one of the starting characters have like these boomerangs they throw, and then their special attacks you actually turn into a boomerang that you can control throughout the level. And one of them has a bazooka and like a overshot bazooka thing. But the really clever, like, the game overall I think is just fun, but the kind of clever little extra bit they have is that when you die, the next time you play that level, you can find your corpse and res that corpse, and then they'll fight with you. And then at the first of the level, you'll actually find other people that have played that level and died. Like, so if I own the game and Adam owned the game, I might start that level and see Adam's dead body if he'd played that level and died. I could res him too to fight along with me. And so it's just a really clever game that then also helps you kind of mitigate the difficulty. Like if you get to a point where, man, this is just too hard, you can res a bunch of your dead bodies and they'll help you fight the bad guys.
Oh, they fight the bad guy. They don't fight you.
Yeah, they actually fight the bad guys.
So
yeah.
Okay.
It's really unique. I had a lot of fun with it. It actually came out, I think, tomorrow. Actually, at launch. Or actually, if you're listening to this podcast in what is your today, Thursday the 11th, it actually releases on Steam today.
Nice.
It's a ton of fun. I really enjoyed playing it. I actually have a video of it that I've not posted yet. I did it live on Mixer, but. I haven't posted on YouTube yet, so that'll be up pretty soon. It's definitely fun.
Nice. Dylan, what are you playing?
I'm playing lots of games.
He is.
Which is good, because games are fun. Haven't been playing as much PUBG lately. We've kind of traded that out for Rainbow Six Siege. And it's so much fun when you have a full squad of 5 people. It's fun to have that many friends. Then we all kind of know that we're all going to get on in the evening, and we play a couple rounds for an hour or so, and maybe we'll jump to PUBG or something. But
that's fun.
Man,
we need to start live streaming those.
Yeah, it's such a fun game. It's pretty. I mean, it's pretty competitive just because it's not a respawning kind of game.
Yeah.
So like, if you ever used to play Counter-Strike or anything like that, like the survival where you only have one life per round can kind of stink when you're kind of new to a game, and it can kind of, you have to get over that hump where you actually start performing well and actually end up surviving through a round instead of being the one that dies every round. It's
kind of cool. Like I've found that with PUBG. Like my brother is way better at PUBG than I am, just like he is at most video games. And I found that it really was helpful to me, though, dying early and then just watching him play. Like, I got better just watching him be better at PUBG than I was.
Right. Yeah, then that's exactly how I felt. Because when I started playing, I played with 2 of my buddies who played the game quite a bit.
Sure.
And, played ranked matches with their, 5 guys that they played with. So when I would die, I would put on one of them and just kind of see how they navigate the map, because so much of that game is map knowledge and knowing the different corridors that you can see down and how best to, stay tight to a wall so you see as much as you can without people being able to see you, because so much of it's tight and it's fractions of seconds that those firefights happen, because it's just a little burst and you're down or they're down, and stuff happens that quickly. So knowing the maps, knowing what's behind you, because there's occasionally times where I play a new map and I'm like, I still don't know this map at all, and we end up sucking. We're like so bad. There's 2 maps that we get every once in a while. We're like, we still don't know these maps. This is terrible. Like, because you just don't you don't know how to get around. You don't even know when you start out in your little drone mode and you're attacking to find the hostages or whatever, you're trying to get into the building. It's like, how do I even get into this building? How do I get to the next floor? I don't know. I hear them up on the second floor, but I can't get there. So that's frustrating. But I guess you can always go into the training modes and try to learn the maps, and that's probably
a good idea.
A good way to do it. But it's more fun just to jump in there.
Yeah.
Right. You'll figure it out eventually.
And you guys are playing on the PC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I might need to pick that up.
I tried playing it on console, and it's fun. And of course, it's fair because everyone's playing it on console. But it's hard
Just
because there's so many more like buttons. Because like it's a game where you're gonna be leaning a lot. So there's a button to lean. So you're not just like moving your whole body out from cover. You're leaning. So anytime you have to do that much intricate movement with joysticks and buttons, it's hard when it's just what is it, the E key or I don't know,
E and Q?
E and Q, yeah. So it's easy when you just have to hit
say
E
as I
and
look
Q
at my
to,
keyboard.
to I can type without looking at it, but I can't just recite where the keys are or know which ones they are. It's so fast on the computer. So I mean, you're still going to enjoy it, but it's one of the games I think is kind of built best for that experience. Other than that, I've been playing a lot of MOBAs because there's some.
I'm like, what is LOL? I'm like, what is this haha game? I don't know what this is. Got it.
Because it sounds like there's a lot of interest generated recently with the guys I'm playing with that, okay, we're going to play some MOBAs. And that's been like my dream to get 5 people to play a MOBA because that's
the worst dream ever.
Like I've rarely played with a full squad, and man, it's fun though.
Yeah.
When you have that full squad communicating, it's like, that's how those games are meant to be played, obviously. It's like when you play with a full squad of people that you're communicating with, that's how games are meant to be played. And that's like the ultimate fun you'll have rather than queuing up solo and just getting stomped or having someone leave your game and just ruining it for the next 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And so that stinks, but I'm very excited. So I kind of refamiliarized myself with League of Legends and played some games in there. And I kind of remember and see what kind of new stuff there is. But I downloaded and installed Heroes of the Storm, which is Blizzard's MOBA, and it incorporates all the different games from the Blizzard universe. So it has Overwatch, it has Diablo, it has Warcraft, it has StarCraft. It has all those characters in one game,
Nice.
which is it's crazy just because it's like you have these StarCraft guys with machine guns and tanks versus like orcs from Warcraft, and it's cool. This is a much, to me, simpler MOBA. There's not itemization, so you're not earning gold. You're not last-hitting minions to earn gold to build whatever items you think best counters your opponent and all 5 of your opponents. So it's that complexity is stripped away. There's still, you're not leveling up your abilities every level, but you're getting a new skill, which could be making one ability better, making one ability do something else, increasing your attack speed, giving you a new active ability, giving you a new passive ability. And each level you'll have like 4 options to choose from. And that's cool because it's kind of a tree. So you can go this direction or this direction. You could be a tank and be a really tanky tank, or you could be a tank that has a really cool action ability that does something cool. And I think that's neat because they're called heroic abilities instead of ultimates.
Yeah.
They're called in other MOBAs. And each character has 2 of those. So when you reach that level that you unlock your heroic ability, you get to either be this guy that does this thing or this guy that does this other thing. And that's cool. And it's so different each time you play. Like you might really understand, okay, they're a little more aggressive, so we have to be a little more defensive this time, or we have to be able to counter this, so maybe this ability works better than that. And that's cool.
That's really cool.
And it's a little simpler than trying to figure out which of these 12 items is best in the situation. Do I need magic resistance or do I need armor? I don't know. Like, I don't want to think that hard, but I have 4 abilities. Which one do I think fits this best? And I think
I might have to hop onto that because I've wanted to play a MOBA and I've wanted to play one that was accessible. So, and every time I watch League or watch Dota, it just scares me. So maybe HOTS is the way to go. Yeah,
and I definitely think like League of Legends overall is probably the better game. But what's more accessible? What's more digestible to someone you want your friends? This is the MOBA that you can get your friends to play with you. That's how I think about it. Because there's no way I'm going to walk into a group of friends and say, "Hey, you guys should all play League of Legends with me." Because that's just not going to work.
It's going to be hard.
You really need people that are kind of hardcore and want to do that and want to learn a very intricate game. This game, all the characters are a little tankier. It feels like you don't die in
fast.
fraction fractions of seconds, but you'll still learn the MOBA mechanics.
And I think that's so important. It's such a
Yeah.
dense. Dylan and I were talking about the other day, and almost any other game you can go like, oh, that game, it's like that game. And MOBAs are just one of those games that you can't. It's impossible to explain to someone. Oh, a MOBA, it's like this other thing you've played before because
it's unlike
Because
anything
it's
you've ever
not.
played.
it's like anything you've ever played.
Yeah, they're so complicated. So
Yep.
and this game
Oh,
is
yeah, that scares the crap
it
out of me.
strips so much of the complexity out of it while still giving you the basics and the fun of a MOBA. And you still have the variety of characters, that motley crew of different faces that you can find.
Like our podcast. If you're watching our stream right now, you know what he's talking about.
And you know a lot of these characters if you play Blizzard games.
Yeah.
So you have Garrosh from like the Warcraft universe, and you have like Illidan, Stormrage, or whatever, all these big heroes that you've seen, and you have Diva and Lucio from Overwatch and Tracer, and how they all can fit together and be in this
That's
one
crazy.
game. It's pretty cool.
Well, it's one of those things too that if you're a HOTS player, like a lot of the time they'll do these weird, like Blizzard does a lot of promotions where like if you're an Overwatch player and you play so many games of Heroes of the Storm, they'll give you extra bonus crates in Overwatch, or you know they tie them together. I mean, it's smart. It's really smart.
Right. And it's cool though when you log into the game and you have kind of this inventory of cool stuff that you really didn't think you had. So I had a bunch of loot boxes from Twitch Prime that I had like got through the past couple months, and I got a bunch of cool skins and this and that, and that's neat. It's just cool to have those kind of bonuses.
Yep, agreed.
So I think
Very
that's
cool.
I'm playing lots of games. I'm playing more games.
Lots of MOBAs.
Love games.
All right, hold please, because I need to. Sorry, guys, on Mixer.
Hold.
Hello. So I have a question regarding this community health plan of Washington thing. Is this like? Do they need to get this approved tomorrow, or what's going on with that?
They want it as soon as possible. Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah.
They make sure she gets the checkup she needs.
you finish a game, you get a point, and then if you win a game, it's a point. So it's much slower to build it back up after you have plummeted your score. But I think having a system like that that's very obvious what's going on is pretty good incentive to not leave games, don't disconnect, don't cheat, play with a good internet connection, fix your internet connection, don't leave, don't troll, don't be toxic, because they punish people. And it's like when we play Rainbow Six as well, it's very it'll pop up every time someone gets banned.
Oh wow!
It shows this guy Bubsy434 got banned by BattleEye.
I like that a lot.
It constantly ticks up, and whether or not that's someone you played with recently, but it's showing you real time when people are getting banned.
I'm a big fan of publicly shaming cheaters.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of publicly shaming anybody with the handle that includes the name Bubsy.
Right, but doesn't that feel good though that you know people are getting banned constantly?
That's awesome.
That's really cool
for players that are trying to enjoy the game. So,
so another thing that they did, they also published the drop rates for the new loot boxes and stuff, which is kind of insane because there was one, I want to say, I can't remember what it was.
0.01%.
Yeah, it's 0.01%, and it roughly takes the equivalent of once every 80 years.
Yeah.
To show up.
For a single person?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
with millions of people playing.
Yeah. So now, you guys are obviously play this more than I do. Currently, you can't pay money. There's no money for keys.
No.
And that's what this is gonna do. There's gonna be certain crates that you can open just like you can now using battle points.
So you earn points.
I thought that I've bought keys before in the past to unlock stuff.
There was
there's a couple of special edition ones.
I think there was it was convention specific or whatever crates.
GDC
but
crates, I think.
That was, I think, the extent
Something
of it.
like that.
Yeah.
And that was
whatever the one that happened in France or whatever.
Right.
Oh, Paris Games Week.
Something like that.
GDC. Yeah, in Germany. Yeah. And that's what's going to change. Is they're just going to introduce a second set of them that you'll have to buy.
And that's kind of how Rocket League works, right? You earn some crates, but you have to pay to unlock them.
Rocket League works a little bit different in that there's no crates you can open.
But that's how
paying.
their crates work.
Yeah, you get a bunch of stuff for you just earn things for free.
Right. So you'll
and
still
then
be able
crates
to,
are always paid.
You'll still be able to use credits to buy crates, but you're going to get crate drops as well.
Yeah, and obviously it's all cosmetic stuff, but the drop rates for these are. I read a comparison between drop rates for PUBG and drop rates for other games, and Overwatch, their rarest thing is an 8% drop rate.
Right.
And
wow.
Yeah, and this is a 0.01%. I mean, that's
ridiculous.
just. I mean, then the flip side is Dylan pointed out, if you're the person that gets that thing's going to be worth a fortune.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know, man.
So you're going to be able to not only sell the thing that's in the crate, but you can sell the crates too,
themselves.
Right? So you can sell the sealed booster pack from the 90s, right?
Yeah.
In the case of Magic, how they have these, you can buy $100 pack of cards that literally could be worth about 30 cents when you open it, or a couple tens of thousands of dollars, and
it's kind of one of those things that all I hope that they do is they do a good job of stopping people that are crate farming. I know they've already had a crate farming problem, and that was one of the things I hated most in Rocket League when crates came in, is that all of a sudden you get in this match of two people talking. Yeah, either someone just throwing a rubber band on a controller and driving around to farm crates, or hey, anyone want to trade crates? And then the other guy going yeah, let's do it. And then they're talking in game and not actually playing, which is in PUBG that's fine, you just get killed. But in Rocket League it was a real pain when all of a sudden your goalie starts talking to someone else about
when there's 6
trading
people in the game, and
2 of them are talking about trading crates. I'm
guys,
hey guys. So hopefully they address that as well, because crate farmers.
Yeah, I mean, you won't notice it too much in PUBG because even if 20 people are farming, you still have 80 people in the game. So
that's what they're saying though, is they were having a real problem with you'd notice that as soon as the plane got off.
Right, it's that AFK drop zone. A bunch of people who come just fall down right there, and then one guy either gets a bunch of kills that round, or when the circle closes they all die. So but
it's just dumb.
And you don't get very many points when you die that early. So
but if you leave it on 24 hours a day,
which is
true.
Just annoying.
Silly.
Well, there's that in your PUBG news. So HTC has announced, was CES just happened?
It's actually happening.
Still happening? Still going? Yeah. Okay. HTC announced the Vive Pro.
Yeah, which looks cool. It's not twice the resolution, but I think it's it goes.
I mean, it jumps to 2880 by 1600
from. Man, I wish I could remember what the old one was. Yeah, it's a 78% increase, so significantly more resolution, resolution is really, really important. Resolution and frame rate are really important in VR because it's what keeps you from throwing up. Right. So I'm a big fan. But I mean, that being said, like the resolution in the current ones are fine.
Is great. The PSVR, it's definitely
it's on the low end, but they're still fine. What's crazy about this is you're looking at a resolution of 2880 by 1600. That's per eye. So that's actually running two screens at 2880 by 1600. Yeah. Nice. So that's pretty impressive, but it's also going to support the new Vive wireless adapter, so you can, in theory, use it wirelessly. I haven't really. I know that they exist, and I know they've kind of existed for a while, but I don't think that I haven't actually heard anyone that's used it yet. So I'll be very interested to see how that'll work.
Because when we were in California between Christmas and New Year's, Kevin's cousin's fiance got one of the Windows MR headsets, and it's the Samsung Odyssey, or something like that.
Yep.
First of all, the resolution in that is ridiculous. It's insane. It's so good, and it's got the outward tracking, so that you literally have one wire running from your head to a fairly basic gaming computer.
Very cool.
And I played Super Hot in VR for the first time. So
I want to play that so bad.
Fun. It was really fun. I think that the space that you work within, though, for those are kind of small. Because I kept running into things.
I really need to. My office is just a shade too crowded to really get room scale VR going. I did get my third sensor. I haven't set it up yet, but my room's real small for room scale. So, but it
was a lot of fun. But the HTC Vive obviously is the one that is the best. Unquote.
Yeah. I mean, and it's the most expensive.
Of course,
it's.
But that Samsung, that was only $500, and that came with the two controllers and everything you need, and it was great. And it's got built-in headphones too.
Yep.
So totally worth it.
So does the Oculus. So does the Vive, I think. Wow. But I really hope that this year is going to be kind of the year of VR. PlayStation announced today that I think they're going to add 135 VR titles this year.
There's a lot coming for that
too. So I've said it a million times. If you've never tried VR, go try it. There's a ton of places that like the mall often has go play a VR for a couple minutes.
If you go to the Microsoft store, we were at the mall in downtown, and we went there, and Dino was all, I'm going to go check this out. And then so he goes, we're all watching him play this, and I'm like, I got to go to the bathroom, or I need something to drink. So I went to do that, and I came back, and we were all shopping, and then we went to this. Have you seen the videos of the people who make the ice cream where they pour the cream and stuff, and they chop it up and then they roll it?
Yeah.
So they have one across the street from this mall.
Ooh.
We went there.
Whatever.
We went there. We're all eating our ice cream. Dino's all like, hey, I've got to go to the bathroom or the car or something, because we were parked right above. He's gone for a really long time, and we're like, is he okay? What's going on? And then he came walking back in 20 minutes later carrying his little VR headset. Tried that night. It's totally worth it. A lot of fun.
Yeah, it's really fun. So if you have the opportunity to do it, it's unlike any game you've ever played. It's almost unlike any other experience you've ever had. Yeah. It's really fun. So
cool. I've been given some serious thought to finally
making the jump.
The Oculus, now that it's $400,
it was $350,
right?
Real recent, yeah.
But you can get in for $400 with the controllers and everything you need in some games, right?
Yep.
That's just the price of a new system, and that's basically what it is, right?
Yep.
So and even after playing the Oculus, though, I think I like that Samsung better.
Interesting.
I really do, because you don't have nearly as many cables coming away from you, and it supports Steam VR.
Yep.
So it's got
the Steam VR stuff is nice.
It was $500.
Oculus supports Steam VR too,
right?
Yeah.
So
they do. But I'm just saying, this was kind of cool that it's a Windows MR mixed reality kind of thing instead of just straight up VR.
I just think you're going to start seeing a bunch of these, and they're all cool. It's neat. So I mean, the other thing, I got my kid a subscription to, I think it's called Viveport, and it doesn't work. It's not 100% workable with the Oculus, but it works enough that I think it's. I didn't pay much for it, like $6 a month or $8 a month, and you get access to 6 VR games, and just can play it for that month, and then the next month you check out another 6.
Yeah,
so
there's
some really cool, especially because so many of them are experiences, not games.
It'd be really cool to have a VR Netflix that
and that's
just a library of VR experiences that you can do. I think the only thing holding me back right now is having a good space to
Yeah.
do it. And
That's
so-
the killer, man. You got to have
you
some
can buy
space.
it, and you can set it up in my basement.
Yeah.
Come over whenever you want.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's perfect.
I might
Everybody
do that.
wins.
Yeah.
Just gonna save up a couple bucks a month for a while and
Yeah. It's a good
I'll
deal.
pick one up
Perfect.
the next time they're on sale.
So I know you were in kind of on the beta last year for this next thing, the GeForce Now.
Yeah. So I was on the Mac beta for it actually, and GeForce Now is really cool. So like I said, I did it on the Mac, and the way it works is you actually log into effectively like, everyone you've heard about the cloud. You log into a PC that lives on the cloud somewhere, and load in your Steam information and install a game and start playing. And at the time I use a MacBook Air, which is a relatively low powered. I mean, it's pretty nice for a Mac laptop, but it's not like an amazing machine.
Right.
It's
not a MacBook.
It's not a MacBook Pro. It does not have
a Surface. It's not a.
It doesn't have a fancy video card.
Right.
And I was able to play Rocket League at the time at like a 720 resolution at 30 frames a second. And since then, they've actually upped it where you can play 1080 at 60 if you have enough bandwidth.
Oh, nice.
But it was great. It ran almost flawlessly. And they just launched the PC beta of this. So if you head out, you can go check out the NVIDIA Now, GeForce Now PC beta. And so this is awesome if you have like a work laptop that doesn't have a video card in it and you want to play some games, or if you have an older laptop, or like a laptop you use for school that
But you want to play games, but it's not gonna.
Yeah.
It's not gonna run the games that you want to play. You can log in, sign up,
and once it comes out, it's kind of expensive, as I recall. I think it's like $25 a month for 20 hours or 30 hours, and so it's expensive. But right now, it's free, and you can try it out and kind of see how you like it. The reality is, especially if you're not gaming a bajillion hours on your PC, $25 a month isn't bad. Maybe if you have a console but want to play some PC games, $25 a month is a lot cheaper than going out and buying a gaming PC. Like a gaming PC is going to be $1,000 or $1,500, and in a laptop form factor is probably going to be
$2,000,
$13,000 to $2,000.
Yeah.
So, you could save some money here and have a pretty similar performance. But to me, like the thing that I look at this and the second I played it, I'm like, where this technology is going is I kind of wonder. I think we're going to get a next console platform. Like I think there will be an Xbox.
Oh yeah,
2,
I think the next,
and I think there will be a
Xbox
PlayStation.
Online.
Yeah, I think there will be a PlayStation 5.
the Xbox 2X.
Something, I don't know. Some other dumb Xbox name.
Xbox One 2X.
Yeah, and it'll spell something stupid. But I really, really wonder if we will ever see another console generation past that one, because I think cloud computing is going to get cheap enough and fast enough that what you'll do is you'll get a dumb front-end console, and you will just log in somewhere else and play your games. It makes 1,000,000% sense. They would save a bunch of money.
We would theoretically save money.
I mean, that's the theory.
You wouldn't be turning around every 5 to 7 years and dropping anywhere between $400 and $600 on a new
What
console.
if you could get a new console for $100 and maybe you paid $20 a month for it or $25 a month for it? Could install games. You'd buy them off the cloud. They'd just instantly be there. You wouldn't have to worry about extra hard drives. You wouldn't have to worry about storage. You wouldn't have to worry about any of that stuff. And it would always be faster than it was the day before, because the technology would, that could be your box forever,
Wow.
Box.
Yeah. To me, that is the future of console gaming at the very least. But I mean, it could be the future of PC gaming as you
it could
look
be the
at
future of PCs in general.
Well,
like,
when you
if
really,
think
I mean,
about
100%, 100%.
Because right now you've got the Adobe Audition, like the Creative Cloud.
Oh, I would
and
kill.
You've got all that stuff that you could do. So when you do that, do you install it all locally, or
it
just
all installs on that cloud
Wow.
server? I mean, I would love to be able to. I mean, today actually, I use Premiere for video editing, and I was actually trying to edit our last episode to upload to YouTube, and I've got a MacBook Air, and I got it all edited, but then I went to export it. It's like, hey, that's going to take an hour and a half, and your Mac's going to sound like a hovercraft for that entire hour and a half. Like, it would be amazing for me just to be able to download that stuff to a cloud server somewhere and say typey process this video, and then just go and push that. I mean, the theory is you could push that and then load up another cloud instance and do other things.
Wow.
I mean, it's dumb. People talk about the cloud all the time like it's magical and whatever,
not.
but man, like
It's not magic. It's just it's computers.
it's computers. But I mean, it's crazy what we'll be able to do with it 2 years from now and 4 years from now and 6 years from now. And I think that gaming is going to see a lot of this. But either way, go try this GeForce Now. I was really impressed by it. Now, if you're
it's
probably
not invite only. Is it invite right now?
I think so. I think you
Okay.
just have to go sign up for it.
Okay.
If you're one of those like hardcore, every game must run at 144 frames a second, blah, 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 you're probably going to go like, well, this sucks, but there's latency. Yeah, there is. Don't try and go play competitive Overwatch with this. Go play some single player clickety game and go like, wow.
Go play like Candy Crush.
You could probably take it a step up from Candy Crush.
I mean,
you can play The Witcher on this though.
Yeah.
Like, The Witcher is I mean, I don't know if you can actually play The Witcher on it. It's only like I think there's 100 or 150 games you can play on it. I don't know if The Witcher
Actually, I
is
want
one
to say
of them.
that was one of the games.
No, The Witcher is gorgeous at high res. Go play The Witcher on it because it's not going to matter really what your frame rate is. You're just clicking and killing weird monsters. So
speaking of killing.
This is going to be an absolutely amazing transition. Please continue.
Speaking of killing, the Kinect is officially dead. To reference back to your Cromwell story,
it's real dead.
This thing's real dead.
Yeah.
Like I thought it'd been dead for a while, but according to Cliff, we decided to dig it up, chop its head off, rebury it, just to make sure this sucker doesn't come back to life.
Yeah, which is kind of a bummer. Like I have one,
Right.
and the one for the Xbox One was really good. It worked.
Was it more infrared?
I don't know, but it worked
works
way
really well.
better.
Well, what sucks is it's like, PlayStation came out with their camera for all their quirky little whatever things on the PS3, and you're just like, this is really stupid. Why?
Yeah.
Why? But they didn't kill it. They kept it around, and now it
your PSVR.
interfaces with the PSVR,
Yeah.
and like that interactivity, the way it works together, is pretty freaking good. They took last gen stuff
And made it work again.
with this
Yeah.
really well.
And the Kinect 2 is really pretty good. And the bummer thing about it is I mean, kind of what happened is, the OG
Nobody liked it?
Xbox One came out. Well, I mean, it was controversial all around because they made you buy one with it,
Right.
and so it made your console more expensive, but whatever. So I have one. And then the 1S came out, and they're like, okay, so you need this adapter to plug your Kinect into your 1S, but it's free. But the process was kind of a pain. You had to like register both your consoles and get the serial numbers, and so I never did it. And so I never got one. And then kind of like one day they're like, okay, they're not free anymore. They're $40. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to pay $40 to get a connector for my Kinect.
And now it's dead.
So the difference between connections on the OG Xbox One and the Xbox One S were different?
Yeah, it does.
the Kinect?
The Kinect actually has a physical Kinect port that is not USB. It's a proprietary port for the Kinect. And my guess is like because the adapter for it isn't just like some sort of like dumb thing to
Like some dumb
USB.
dongle?
Yeah, there's like a box in the middle of it. So I think there's electronics that do something. But the crappy thing is everyone was kind of thinking when the Xbox One X came out, they do that $40 deal again. So if you had an original Xbox, you'd be able to get the adapter. And instead, they just said, like, nope, we're not making any more of them. And they haven't been available, even if you wanted to buy one, for quite a few months now. So, your choice now is literally to go on eBay and spend like $300 for one. So, yeah. And so it's kind of a bummer. And there's never been like a third party one. There's never been any of that. It's just kind of a bummer, to be honest. So
That's stupid.
yeah. And I mean, like, it's not perfect, but it was nice to be able to talk to your Xbox and say, you could tell it to turn on. You could, tell it to go to Netflix and search for things.
You can't do that with the One X?
Well, if you have a headset on, you can.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Actually, and I was listening to Podcast Unlocked the other day, and they really posited that what this actually means is that that maybe they'll invent something more like the Echo Dot. Like, that'd be perfect. Like a $40 or $50 just little thing that could sit next to your PC, and you could talk to Cortana and do it that way. And so I'd love a Cortana for my Xbox. I just feel bad that they killed the one that I had.
Yeah.
Right. Because it works.
Yeah.
Like, it's functional.
Well, mean,
worked
you could
so
use
well
it,
that Apple put it in their new phone.
right? Yeah.
Well,
Well, I mean,
down version of it.
it was really cool. You could do cool things like if you got a Xbox Live code, it had a QR code on it.
Right,
You could use
you
your
just
camera to
scan
scan it. You can use
That was
your
like my favorite thing.
same. You could use it for Mixer. Like it could be your camera on Mixer if you're broadcasting. And although apparently I didn't know this until very recently, but you can plug any webcam into your Xbox
It's
and
a computer.
yeah, and it will let you use that as your face cam for Mixer. So yeah, it's good stuff.
That's
but, I
fun.
mean, bummer. I'm really bummed about it.
Haha. Sorry.
Yeah.
Kinect is dead.
I know it happens.
All right. So to help you be not dead
Excellent.
is this Battle Royale Trainer. It's a game specifically designed to make you better at PUBG, which I wish this would have happened
Right.
6 months ago. I mean, I've had fun learning my way around and getting better at the game on my own.
Well, and Dylan and I have talked about that a bunch of times, that what I really, really want in PUBG is just the ability to load into a PUBG game by myself and just find things and shoot them, even without other stuff.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what this is supposed to be. And this isn't official. It's not made by PUBG Corp or whatever.
Blue.
They spun off. They're now
the
PUBG Corp.
Yeah.
Which is dumb, but
But
whatever.
you can kind of you can set up AI, you can set up their fire
bots,
rate, their
yeah.
accuracy, their all this stuff, so you can kind of
Yeah,
get
and they
an
say
idea
that
how it
it
works.
feels pretty accurate to
Yeah.
PUBG. Apparently
Some
the
of the guns
recoil's
feel-
a little
yeah.
off, but what a great way to... Because, I mean, guns in PUBG are not, like... It fires a real projectile every time you pull that trigger, and that is not super common in video games.
No.
And so learning how they drop, learning, how far you have to lead a target, like that's hard to do. I mean, I've played not a ton of rounds of PUBG, but enough that I should have killed some people by now, and I don't. I've
Have you
I
not killed
haven't.
anybody?
maybe one or two people.
Dude.
It's
You
just
stink.
well, it's more like I just haven't had the opportunity
No,
to.
and that's very true, and that's why something like this needs to exist.
Yeah.
Because it takes a long time to get over that hump when you were not an early adopter of this game. You were not in there from
Yeah.
day one figuring this game out. You also don't play it
A
frequently,
ton,
so
yeah.
when you jump in, you just get killed.
Yeah, the only downside is it's actually cheap. I thought it was expensive. It's $4.
$4.
Yeah, totally worth $4 to even just play around in. I wish, I really hope. I guess maybe that's it. I really hope that PUBG looks at this and goes like, oh, hey, that's a smart thing. Let's add that in. Like I said, having bots would be great, but even without bots, it would be great.
Right.
So,
Yeah, totally.
anywho,
So yeah, $4.
yeah,
Do it.
Battle Royale
Why not?
Trainer.
Sorry, I almost stopped the show because my screen, the Adobe Audition went. It started to fade to that white, like the whole thing's about to crash. I'm like, gosh, no.
No.
All right. Well, there is that. Oh, there's one last bit of news, and Dylan, I will let you take that.
Yeah.
Well, this is fun.
This is
Well, yeah,
exciting
yeah.
for
So
video
good.
games and the future of esports. Overwatch League starts now. It actually just kicked off at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, 45 minutes
on
ago.
Wednesday. So if you're watching live right now, I'm watching it on my iPad right here.
Are you really?
On
Dylan multitasks
Yep.
through every one of our
do that.
podcasts.
So I'm on Twitch right now here. You can stream it on Twitch. You can watch it on overwatchleague.com. So Overwatch League, if you're not really familiar, if you haven't seen anything about this, it is a season of Overwatch where we have 12 teams from different cities around the world. So right now, to kick off the inaugural season of Overwatch League, we have the San Francisco Shock versus the Los Angeles Valiant. And there will be 2 other games in 2-hour intervals today.
That's
Oh,
fun.
nice.
So I'm guessing this is going to be what day of the week is it? Wednesday. So there's
Yeah.
probably going to be a certain day. I haven't really looked at
Yeah.
this how the schedule plays out from here, but so until June 16th,
That's fun.
we're going to have Overwatch on probably weekly. Postseason starts after that. It's kind of cool. Cliff and I were talking. We kind of wish there would be a Seattle team, considering
California got 3 teams. Like
as all
we could get
sports,
one.
they're sports monopolizers.
Yeah.
LA has 2 teams. San Francisco has a team.
And as Penny Arcade pointed out today, you can't throw a rock at Seattle without hitting a nerd. Like
Seriously.
we should get a team. But I just think it's cool that Overwatch is like. I think there's really something to be said about attaching a team to a city. Like I'm not one of those big like rivalry, people. Like I watch my sports soccer, and the team I root for has rivalries, and I think most of them are kind of stupid, except for Sporting KC. Screw them. But I think most that's kind of dumb, but I do enjoy getting behind a team, getting behind a city. Like I am a Real Salt Lake fan because I lived in Salt Lake, but now I'm here. Like I think it's fun when the Sounders play. I enjoy having a Seattle team.
Right. Because I'm a big sports fan. I like sports. I was never so much of a team guy. Like I enjoyed my home teams because those are the games you could go see, right? Yeah. So I think we naturally do that, and sometimes you have a team that's outside of your hometown that you do like. But to me, kind of, it's like, how do I watch all the games?
Yeah.
So I can watch my team's games, and then I can read about the other ones, right? And so I think it's kind of nice to be able to say, okay, I always watch this team, and like I'm going to find the Overwatch team that I like, whether it's San Francisco or London.
Vinny says we should root for Boston.
Right, Boston. Okay,
Boston.
I might be into that. I'll check out Boston and see if they do it for me. I also might go with which one's skins look the coolest because so Overwatch has got every character has 12 new skins for each team. So awesome. Each team has their home color. You can get those skins.
I think that's cool.
You can play your favorite character in your favorite skin, and apparently if you log into Overwatch now, you'll get one of those free.
Oh, sweet.
And you can spend Overwatch. You can buy Overwatch League tokens or something now, and you could purchase more if you wish. But if you log in, you'll be able to get one free.
That's awesome.
And they got really cool colors. They're not any fancy skins, but like that's cool to have your like home jersey, like your home team jerseys on your character.
I agree.
So that's neat. That's fun. To me, that's the professional thing that you would hope to see in like a big esport like this.
Pretty soon I'm going to have a jersey. I'm going to wear it to work.
Right,
it's going to be great.
I have good hopes for this. I think it's fun.
Dylan and I were talking about, remember when in like the 90s, late 90s, where you could buy those like big puffy NFL coats and like all the cool kids had a big puffy NFL coat? Mm-hmm. I want those for Overwatch.
For Overwatch?
Yeah.
We should do that.
Yeah, they can see nerds at a distance so they can
They're like, okay,
preemptively beat you up.
Quick. Yeah.
So Boston plays tomorrow at 8 p.m.
Perfect.
Pacific time, I believe.
We will cheer them on, maybe. 8 p.m. Pacific time?
Pacific time.
Wait, they're going to play at 11 o'clock at night?
Well, yeah, but it's all at the Overwatch arena, so I'm assuming that's in California where Blizzard
is.
That
makes sense. That makes
sense. I'm guessing that's.
I'm sitting here literally thinking that they're in an arena somewhere in Boston playing their home game.
No, it all took place, and that was actually one of the problems the league had initially. Is that there was quite a few overseas players that had a problem getting visas to come over here. So because they all play here, so it's not like London's playing.
Right.
The London team is based out of LA. All the teams are based out of LA right now.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, there's that Overwatch League. It is on.
It is
live,
literally right now.
All right, we are done with all the news. That's your news.
Yay.
Mm-hmm. All right, we got some questions this week from Josh, Joe Coleslaw, Mighty Weapon Man. Who's that?
Chalupa Dios.
Chalupa Dios.
I can't keep up with you.
Or Edster Turbo.
What his real name is? I have no idea. I'm sure it's Ed.
Ed, probably.
Yeah, probably like
Eduardo.
I don't know.
Kevin's got a question for us, so does Colby. And, of course, we always lead our questions off with our favorite guy.
Hey, yo, Vinny.
I've been gone for 2 weeks, and it's still terrible. It's still terrible.
What's happening in Boston?
Well, the Uprising is playing.
Oh.
Tomorrow at 8.
At 8.
Yeah.
Cool. So anyway, Vinny actually wants to know, what video game moment gave you the most sense of accomplishment? An example would be defeating a super powerful boss after numerous attempts, say in Cuphead, or maybe he would say, what video game gave you the most pride for completing it? Ori. No, I'm kidding. So a few games come to mind for me, and they were all like way back in the NES and SNES era. Just because I played my video games because it was cool, but I never felt really good at them. So one of the first games I ever remember beating was, it's called Metal Storm. I know I've talked about it before. And it was this really cool platform space shooter thing. You played this little mech, and there was a really cool gravity mechanic where you could flop back around. And I really liked that game. And that was probably the first game I remember beating. like just straight up.
Yeah,
and that I remember reading that I was excited about.
Yeah,
I'm sure I'd beat other games. I know I'd completed a Mega Man game, maybe, and a Mario Brothers game. But it's like, I know all these people that have played this game and beat it, but I've never seen that game before or since.
Yeah,
and I beat the crap out of it.
Yeah,
so that was cool. And then the other two games were more substantial because I was like, oh, it's a Final Fantasy game. The Final Fantasy Mystic Quest.
Oh, sure.
On the SNES.
Yeah.
It was really toned down story, child's play, very intro to like the JRPG thing.
Yeah.
So there was that, and then Secret of Mana.
Nice.
Which I loved.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that re-release. It's coming out, I think.
It's coming out
next
soon.
month after.
I just fired up my SNES Classic the other night just for funsies, and I'm like, I can play it right here, and
it's fun.
Yeah.
So those pixel RPGs kind of held up too. Yeah. So
it's really good. But those are mine.
That's good. Man, I'm sure there are games like that I've felt that way about. Nothing comes to mind offhand, but I know I had some. Like the first time I made a off the wall aerial goal in Rocket League was a real big, because I'm not great at those, and so the first time I was able to pop the ball off the wall and hit it into the goal was a big deal for me. And I know I had not a bunch, but a couple of down by 3 or 4 with a couple minutes left, and all your teammates are being stupid and dropping, and you'd come back to win those games, or a couple games that we won with 1 second left or 0 seconds left that were just like, oh my god, I can't believe that happened, kind of thing. I had a lot of great Rocket League moments, to be honest. That game, because the matches are so fast and you can play so many of them, it once you get to a certain level of good, I guess, you create a lot of moments in that game that are very exciting. Right. So,
and completing The Witcher 3.
And completing The Witcher 3. Yeah.
That's no small feat.
One thing I would like to talk about right here that I think is really interesting. There was a big thread on Twitter 6 months ago about video game developers talking about how they create those moments. Those, oh my god, I can't believe I beat that boss with 1 health left kind of thing. And they said that a lot of the feelings in those games are actually designed. They're tricky.
Right.
Where the last bullet in a magazine does 3 times as much damage.
Really?
Or the last 1 hit point you have is actually worth 20 or 30.
Right.
And they're designed. Yeah. And a lot of people didn't. A lot of people were real mad about it. But I kind of like the idea that, regardless of how it is,
matter because it's totally
you
transparent.
feel so good. In
BioShock,
they said, the first couple shots from the splicers were meant not to hit you.
Right.
It was just to let you know if someone was shooting at you.
But I did not know this.
It was really interesting how many of those, oh my god, I can't believe I beat that guy with 1 health and 3 bullets left, were manufactured.
Right.
And it's really, really interesting. But it doesn't really matter because those still feel so dang good.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I kind of got that sense when I was playing Rainbow Six the other day. I loaded into a terrorist hunt, which is just versus bots, doing a bunch of bots in the building, and you go fight them, or they're sieging your building and you're defending it. And you can play this with other people, or you can go lone wolf. And I'll just play lone wolf to kind of just get warmed up, so to speak. But I got punched down to 1 health. But I still had 7 guys to kill. I was like, how does this happen? And bullets were flying, but I never got hit.
Sure.
I don't know if that was artificial, but
who cares?
Man, I felt pretty good when I was able to kill all of them. I survived with 1 health
That's
for
awesome.
Half the game.
That's awesome.
So whether or not, it was totally transparent to me. I didn't know. I don't know if that's a design of the game that when they pop out, the first 3 bullets never hit you. I don't know if that's the case or not.
Yeah.
But
either way, it's still fun,
it doesn't
right?
matter. But my answer to this question is one of those games is Rainbow Six Siege recently, because it creates tense moments every game you play, because it's 5-on-5, and you don't know, you're hearing all these explosions and walls are getting holes blown in them, and you don't know where the enemy's coming from unless you're able to check through the surveillance cameras and seeing what angle they're coming in at. You can guess and you can hear, but you don't know. Sound comes through the doorways, so you never quite know where they're coming from. You can do your best to put up the reinforced defenses and do all these things to try to guide them one way, but maybe they'll use thermite to to melt the metal wall rather than blowing through the drywall. So you don't know, and like those moments are tense. And then when your team's falling and their team's falling, and you have those final standoffs where it's like 1v1, and you're that one, and then you look down the hallway and they pop around, and you just take that squeeze of the trigger, and they just boom, game's over. It goes to the replay, and you see your little ducky charm hanging off your gun, and
that's awesome.
So like that, those are good moments.
That's really cool.
Similar like PUBG with the chicken dinner, like. They've created something that just it is such an accomplishment every time you play the game, and that's what you're working for.
That's awesome.
Those moments. So
that's really cool.
I think those are her.
I like it.
Those are my answers, as well as I really enjoy the moment in a MOBA. Like this has happened a few times, but where you're playing a team, like you're in casual game, whatever, or ranked or whatever it is, but you're playing with strangers.
Yeah.
And the other team is mechanically better than you. They are beating you, but they're better players than you, but they're not necessarily better at the game.
Sure.
And then you do that come from behind victory where you outplay the game.
Yeah.
Like you're not beating them one-on-one, but you're using the objectives to come back, and then you finally win one team fight, and you're able to push back down the lane and backdoor or whatever it is, because you managed to take down their tower to get into their base, and you throw a distraction up on the top lane, and we throw our DPS character down the bottom lane, and they sneak right to the nexus, and late game you have so much damage that you can take it down so fast while the other team's distracted.
That's cool.
And like doing those big plays to come back from behind those are great moments.
Yeah,
so.
I agree. That's cool.
Thank you, Vinny. All right, up next question from Josh. Is it wise for companies to re-release older content to the Switch at full price, Skyrim and LA Noire, while the games are great and adapt to the Switch well? Is it fair to gamers to pay that for an older game? Also, what does it say for the Switch? In one way, it's amazing because it shows the Switch is adaptable, more great games are possible for Nintendo, yet does it clutter the Switch with old games taking away from new content? He thinks he's probably dead wrong on this, but it seems to be a filler while new Switch content and first-party development are in the works. So what he's really asking is, wouldn't it be best for games as a service from Nintendo for older games instead of hard copies of the game? Sorry, I haven't been active a lot lately, dying for good conversation.
It's all right, Josh. Josh just got his master's degree.
Oh, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Good man.
Sweet. I have a lot of thoughts.
Go, Adam. We've actually been holding this one for 2 weeks, so you could.
So, first of all, the games are not full price. They're close to it. They're not. If you get the physical copy of LA Noire for the Switch, it's $49.99. It's not full price compared to the original. It's still $10 off. If you get it on the eShop, it's $39.99. So, and that's the same, I want to say, as the PS4 and Xbox copies of it as well for digital. So you are saving money. My thought on, is it wise to release these? Yes.
Yeah.
Because for one, when the Nintendo Wii came out, that audience was so above and beyond the typical gamer. Everybody had a Wii, but not everybody was able to play Skyrim or LA Noire or all these other things. And some of us, love the Wii so much, we're like, hey, Wii U, we're going to get that. Didn't really play a whole lot. Otherwise, obviously, I had a PS3, but a lot of people keep it pretty simple. But for the Nintendo fan base that's coming from the Wii or the Wii U or whatever, that they're strictly Nintendo heads, being able to play these massive games that were not accessible to them because they didn't have a PS4 or a PS3 or they didn't have an Xbox, like coming in at the lower price point, being able to show the Switch can actually do this, and the fact that the Switch is literally the fastest selling console in U.S. history.
Yeah, 10 million.
Right? It's like, you've got this audience. Why not test the waters for one to see if people are interested in the type of product you put out? Because LA Noire, Skyrim, those are all very, the developer that did those because those are the games that they do.
Yeah. And to me, I think, are they just putting things out because there isn't other stuff there yet? 100%.
Oh, yeah.
100%. But I think it needs to be done because the thing that will kill a system the fastest is going like, oh, that's real great, but there's nothing to play on.
One game comes out every month.
Yeah.
Like
that is poison to a game system. And you need it from third parties too. And I think it's amazing. Like, is the Switch the best place to play Doom? Is it the best place to play Wolfenstein, which isn't out yet, but whatever? No, it's not.
You say it's not the best, but to the person who only
if
owned
that's
a
all you,
3DS or they've
if
got a
that's all you've
Switch,
got, it's 100% the
then
best.
yeah.
You know, the best place to play a game is the system you have.
Yeah. And if you can play it at as high a quality as they managed to push Doom out on a Switch, like, it's by no means perfect.
But I mean, yeah. And I think that's the thing is like, if you have an Xbox, no, play it on the Xbox.
Yeah.
But if you don't, it's amazing to be able to actually do that. But what I like about it is that it's, other people are going to look at that and go like, oh, I didn't even think I could put my game on the Switch.
Right.
But look, they put Doom on it. They put Wolfenstein on it.
Totally.
You know, and I mean, I guess the other thing is I mean, when the Xbox One launched, how many games got re-pushed out to the One from, you know, I mean, how many, I personally have bought 2. I bought Diablo again, and I bought Grand Theft Auto 5 again, because, you know, it's just going to happen. There's going to be games that come out in that kind of year in between, hey, they were released originally, and hey, we've got a new system to put on. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, Capcom, that's all they've done this generation is release 360 games onto their new platform. So, you know, I think
there's so many people who haven't played these games like L.A. Noire because that was kind of a weird niche kind of a game. It was a big deal.
Yeah.
But not a lot of people played it.
But it was nice that they kind of redid it too. It's not the exact same game. It wasn't just a straight across port. They made it better. So
yeah. I have kind of 2 things because I do see both sides of this. I mean, I think it's a very good question, and my first answer is Nintendo needed to. Because Nintendo needed to say, we can have other games. Unless they were fully committed to saying, we're going to ramp up Nintendo games.
Right.
Like, they either needed to say, we're going to make 24 new Nintendo games this year, fine. But if they're not, and they're only going to say, we're going to have Mario, we're going to have Yoshi, we're going to have Mario Kart, we're going to have a Super Smash Bros. Eventually, we'll have Pokemon, and we'll have these 6 games. Like, if you're just going to have those 6 games, then you need some other stuff.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to have Wii U 2. And we don't want Wii U 2.
Yeah.
So they had to, and I think that was a good move because it's working, obviously. And the other side is, though, it's like, do I have any of these games? No, I don't, because I don't. It's like,
but how many times in the last 2 months have you thought, man, maybe I should buy Skyrim for the Switch?
Yeah, but then Skyrim on 360 was $20, so it's like, or on the Xbox One it was $20, and it's like,
and then it's a full price game. It's $60 on the Switch, and I've almost bought it.
Is it really $60 on
$60?
Switch?
So it's like
almost bought it so many times.
Yeah, I know a lot of people, other podcasts I listen to, they're like, oh, playing through it on the Switch now, and I'm like,
yeah, it's just, I wasn't gonna do that, so I can't see myself putting 100.
You can't see yourself
120 hours on a handheld.
No.
And that's the only reason I would play it on the Switch is if I wanted to take it on the go. If I'm going to play it at home, there's no reason. There's no reason to. So
if I had a commute, I would totally. I would own it already.
Right.
And, I mean, I have a horrible commute, but playing video games and driving seems real dangerous.
So to the question about does it clutter the Switch with old games taking away from new content, I don't know how often you might have popped into the eShop lately on the Switch, but I'm going to say the new content clutters the new content.
Yeah,
right.
There is
There's so
a
much
constant
stuff.
barrage of stuff popping up on there. So I think that they might be actually... It might be a good idea actually to be pushing some of these older titles because you will get you'll get the crossover of people who are familiar with that title and go, oh crap, I can play that on my Switch.
Yeah, those games kind of have gotten the spotlight, but I don't think they've really taken away from anything else.
No.
But yes, I agree that they have the potential to do that. They could, in fact, clutter, but I think the fact that Nintendo needed to do this outweighs it greatly.
Oh, and also, like, all you hear is the rattling of, whatever, people wanting their virtual console so they can play all their old games. So it's like...
I'm actually really looking forward to
thing.
I was actually talking to Mansox from the Discord today. He said,
Is he married to Lady Socks?
Oh, I hope so. I'll have to ask.
I just think that'd be fun.
I'll have to ask.
Okay.
But he was asking, his question that he wanted to ask for the podcast was, what's our favorite Mario game? And I said, I don't think I've actually played enough Mario games to be educated on that question. Because I never played an N64 Mario game. I never played a game, what was that one? GameCube Mario. I never played any of the Wii ones, and the only one on the Wii U I played was what Mario and
I don't know what
Luigi.
games he actually played.
Mario. There was
Not
Super
Mario
Mario
ones.
Bros.
Right.
Yeah, I played that, but not a ton of it. So like to me, like, the best one is Super Mario World, just by default.
What?
But I would love to play and I've played a little bit of Paper Mario, but I'd love to play Paper Mario or Mario Sunshine or Mario Galaxy on my Switch. I think that'd be super fun.
Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So
Mario
And,
Galaxy was great. Mario Sunshine is one of my favorites.
yeah,
Yeah, I think it's kind of become expected of Nintendo to be that legacy system
Yeah.
because all their games are good and hold up.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
not many other games can say that. Like,
Right.
you don't go back and play the Mario, like another game from the 80s
Yeah.
and say that's still good.
Oh, yeah.
You can still play
And
80s Mario.
Super Mario World is so good.
It's still good.
Oh,
like, it's a
I've been playing
great
that on
game.
my-
yeah,
on
So
my SNES.
fantastic. Yeah, I played on my Raspberry Pi every once in a
I
while.
think there's an expectation that Nintendo plays old games
Yeah.
still because they're good. So it's
You can't.
it's a very interesting, isolated thing. Like,
yeah,
stuff that works for Nintendo is not necessarily how it is for the rest of the video game world.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. it's
I
good.
could start doing.
and my answer for that is Super Mario 64.
Oh really?
Even though 3D platforming is still the worst thing ever, like it just there's problems.
Yeah.
Maybe virtual reality will solve this one day. Where I can,
where you
I
vomit
actually
everywhere
can
and you're like, oh,
see
I'm not
how
gonna-
far away something is.
Yeah,
But just the world they created and me being able to like jump into the portraits,
Yeah.
that was just awesome.
Yeah.
So
it's cool. I've never played it. I hear it's good.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, my favorite with that I remember is Super Mario Sunshine. It was a blast.
Fun.
So different. All right, I can see why this question is in here. From Joe Coleslaw.
we saved this one.
Yep.
Thanks. If Duke Nukem and Kratos had New Year's resolutions, what would they be? What would Duke's be?
I don't have
chew more bubble gum so he doesn't have to kick as much butt. Or
Someday we need to do a mature rated podcast.
Right.
or I guess kick more butt. Like,
Right.
those are the only two things I can imagine. Like, is he being responsible, Duke Nukem, and he's saying like, I'm gonna kick less butt this year
Seriously.
because I'm getting old? Or does he have to step his game up, kick more butt, or get more women? I don't
He
know.
just spends more time at strip clubs.
Oh man, I think Kratos. Like I was joking, his resolution would be kill fewer family members.
Oh, jeez.
That's going to be his. Actually, I don't even know if he
Greater
has
than
any
or
left. I
equal
don't think he
to,
could.
like less than or equal to how many?
Two.
2?
I don't know.
So kill 1 or less, 1 or 0.
Basically,
I
don't know if he's got
1
any
this
family
year and
members
0
left.
next year.
He's got a kid.
I don't know. Yeah, this is the thing. Like, I'm curious to
second
see if this new iteration of Kratos in the next game is going to be a different. Like,
They've already actually kind of said he is.
Right.
So,
I'm curious to see if maybe this is the New Year's resolution Kratos that's coming out.
yeah.
Let's
Isn't
call it that.
Weird that it's Kratos still.
Because Kratos is a very.
The dude, kills gods. I think we can probably suspend disbelief.
Are they? Are they still related? Like, is there
they're-
some? Like, is it the same like soul?
I believe so. I
don't even know.
I think Game Informer got a big cover story on God of War this month. So
Well,
we'll
good
have
for
to-
them.
We have to check
We
that
have
out.
to do some more research.
We didn't.
We didn't get it, so who cares? Yeah, and I think Kratos' resolution would also be like, be nicer to Athena.
There you go.
Like,
Everyone should be
you're
nicer
kind of
to
a, dude,
Athena.
a dick. Like, it's not cute.
Work on his tone of voice. I don't.
Or kind of tone of voice.
Like, so people just think.
I killed my family.
think
I'm
he's
always
not
angry.
quite as aggressive as he is.
Get
But
some
I am that
counseling, maybe.
aggressive.
Maybe some counseling.
Finally show that Christmas card that he posed with his little kitten with.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
Show his lighter side.
Love it.
Softer
Wow.
side.
All right. Thank you for that fun little question there. What is next here? Kevin has a question. No, I'm sorry. Mighty Weapon Man. Wow,
Yes.
a lot of questions. With a rumored Nintendo Treehouse looming, what Nintendo games do you see them announcing with a 2018 release?
2018 release.
I'm
What games do
gonna
we
say-
know already?
Well, Yoshi,
Yoshi.
the new Yoshi
Yoshi.
game, possibly a Pokemon game.
See, I don't know. I don't think
Possibly.
we're going to see Pokemon this
I say
year.
possibly.
Well, and because Pokemon RPG is the one that they've announced as coming, but with no release
Yeah,
date, right?
I can't imagine we're going to see it this year.
A Kirby game for sure. I know there's a Kirby game that's for sure going to be a thing. Kirby
yeah,
Battle Royale, actually.
Yep.
And that's all I know of for sure.
100 Kirby's float down onto this cloud
And
plane.
like 7,632 independent titles that will be rolled out in
Yeah.
roughly 800 games a month.
I would love to be surprised with Super Smash Bros.
And I don't think that's going to happen.
Maybe.
But they've been. I mean, they've been not. They don't tease us for very long with these things.
Oh, hang on. We're getting a call.
I'll remember what I said.
Hello.
Hi. So I just put our added value in for Como, and it looks like you already recorded it for move-in.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same, but I didn't have the recorded spot, so I put it in for warm, and I actually was just going to add it to Lori's order.
Yeah.
But the dates are wrong.
Or the dates. Oh, okay, that's fine. You know,
I just want to let you know so you didn't get in there and be like, is it the same? Is it not? It's
Oh, no, it's fine.
exactly the same. So if you just want to add that spot,
Yep.
done.
Will do.
Thank you.
So yeah, okay, perfect.
Did I do it okay?
Yeah, I think since it's the same,
If it's just script.
because since it's well, they're two different titles. That's right. So, all right, yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Oh my god! All right.
They haven't been teasing us very long with their new releases, so like I think there's a lot of opportunity to be surprised because it is January right now.
Yeah.
I think we can safely expect that there's going to be some big games that aren't Kirby and Bayonetta. Because those are, I think those are or Yoshi, sorry. I think those are the two bigger titles that we're expecting in the future, but there's obviously going to be something else.
Well, and I think what you aren't going to see this year is many first-party titles. Like, they kind of shot their in 2017. You know, you're not going to see another Mario this year. You're not going to see another Zelda this year. You're not going to see another Mario Kart this year.
Right.
Those are going to be 2019, 2020. Yeah. But I think there's going to be a lot of really good third-party stuff. I mean, obviously, Bayonetta is coming out. Dragon Quest Builder is coming out actually really soon.
Yeah.
That was awesome on the PS3. I think it'd be great on the Switch.
Cool on the Switch.
They're getting Terraria, which is a super fun game. That Project Octopath Traveler, I hope will drop this year, which is really fun. Kind of hard, but you know, if you like JRPGs,
I really liked it.
Yeah,
I really like it.
I loved the look of it. I loved the graphics of it. I loved the music of it. I thought the gameplay was kind of okay. It's hard to say. Layers of Fear is coming to the Switch this year, which could be like I'm having a hard time imagining a Switch horror game, but that could be kind of interesting.
Horror on the go.
There's going to be a Fire Emblem game most likely. So I think what you're going to really see is a bunch of people who were like, I don't know if the Switch can support our third-party stuff, bringing out third-party stuff.
Right.
So
cool. Yeah, I think it's going to be maybe that second tier Nintendo games too.
Yep.
Like all the characters we see in Super Smash Bros. That aren't the Marios and the Zeldas.
Right.
So it's like the Fire Emblem characters and like Yoshi and Kirby and like that B level of Nintendo. Like you love those guys, but they're not the pinnacles of Nintendo. So
True.
It'll be good.
All right. Kevin asks, with so many games taking the open world sandbox approach lately, is there a game or series that you think would play better as a linear story?
I would just like to say yes, all of them.
Right.
God, I'm so old and I have so little time. I want
to know where I'm going, what I'm doing, and I want you to tell me how to get there.
I want literally, I love open world games, and in a perfect world where I don't have a job and I've retired, or a child, or probably a wife.
Did you hear what he just said?
No,
he said it would be a perfect world without you.
Oh, I did say that. That's not what I meant. Damn.
On accident.
I think she's actually watching too. This is not good.
Uh-oh.
Love you, honey. In a perfect world of gaming. There we go. I'm screwed.
Yeah, you're done.
Anyway,
just say why.
He's not coming home.
I would play big open world sandbox games all the time because I love them. But in a world where I can maybe squeeze in 8 to 12 hours of gaming, like single player for me gaming a week, I want every game to be amazing and super detailed and 12 hours long. I want to play The Witcher in 12 hours. I want to play Red Dead Redemption 2 in 12 hours.
It's not going to happen.
And it's great. I take out all the travel time, take out all the side quests, just have a single great boiled down story that's really good in a limited locale in 12 hours. I want all my games that way.
I agree. Because I think that Just because the technology is allowing us to make these giant, grandiose universes and
Yep.
spaces and places to play in doesn't mean that you constantly that's all you can do.
No.
Like, use them to tell a powerful story. Use them.
Make Hellblade again.
Yeah, seriously,
Make
Hellblade's great.
1,000 Hellblades with all of your own IPs.
Yeah, why not?
God.
So, but are there any games specifically that you think would just do better currently?
Well,
All of them.
Yeah. I agree completely, and I'm thinking back to when we first got sandbox games,
Yeah.
like the first like open world games, and it's like it was so cool, right? I love open world games, but then I realized how quickly I got tired of open world games because they were all like that, and it's like I can't play 12 open world games. It's like it's not gonna happen.
I want my games to either be games as a service games like Destiny that I'm going to play forever, or a game that I can beat in. And I mean, 12 hours to me is like probably 12 to 16 hours.
That's the big game.
But maybe 6 or 8 too.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Well, like Inside was great.
Inside was perfect.
Inside
But I mean,
was really good.
I think that there's a lot to be. I mean, I think the thing, maybe make them come out more often too. Like, you know, Grand Theft Auto is a huge game. Maybe you do other things with DLC. You release more frequently, but with shorter things. You know, so you release Grand Theft Auto one a year or one every 6 months, and each one of those is an 8-hour chapter or a 12-hour chapter.
I just wanted to look this up. Child of Light, which is a great game from Ubisoft Montreal, I think. Yeah. The average time spent on that is 11 hours and 20 minutes. And it's a beautiful game with a beautiful story. And Seasons of Fall, that was another one that's like 6 to 8 hours. Great little story, great voice acting. The art direction was amazing.
And
Ori, I know I keep going back to that.
It's
Again,
great.
Beautiful art direction was incredible. Everything was fantastic. And you're only spending
I don't
anywhere
need
from
to
6
spend
to 12 hours.
I don't need to spend 60 hours in a game, and I never need to spend 100 hours in a game.
How much have you spent in Skyrim? Okay.
Oh yeah,
welcome.
but I mean the thing is like that was literally roughly the only game I played for 14 months.
Right.
You know, and it took me 14 months to put 120 hours into that game. You know, I just want them all.
And that's still upwards of 10 hours a month.
It's right. It's just I want them to be smaller. I want them to be more compact. I was complaining about this in The Witcher the other day. They're like, okay, you need to go on this quest. I'm like, okay, where is it? They're like, well, it's not anywhere close to here. Like, can I fast travel there? They're like, nope. Get on your horse and ride all the way down to this other continent, to this other town. I'm like, can I go from there? They're like, nope. Get on a boat. I'm like, and it didn't take long. It was 7 or 8 minutes, but that's 7 or 8 minutes that I could have been doing anything else.
Right.
You know?
You can't set a waypoint and have them just ride?
No. You can't.
That's silly.
Oh, but I mean, in reality, why can't I just fast travel there? Let me put in a.
In reality, you can't fast travel.
When I'm playing on easy mode, just say, "Hey, look at this horse ride was real fast." You know,
kill everything along the way.
Yeah, right. I want everything to be shorter.
Yeah, I think it's not quite exactly what the question's asking, but I think it would be very interesting to see a Grand Theft Auto or Red Dead Redemption game that's not an open world one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, because the stories are so.
I think
great.
that is actually what he's asking. Like, I mean,
well, I don't think it's necessarily a better game though. That's what the question's asking. What series
better.
would benefit?
Gotcha.
Would play better? I'm not saying it's better, but how? Like, I'm thinking of Max Payne.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of in the style of like a Grand Theft Auto, but like imagine a linear story with the characters of Grand Theft Auto and that world and like how good they do stories without the sprawling sections in between. So you're just hammering through it in 6 hours. Like how cool, how good, how satisfying. It'd be like The Godfather. It'd be like watching The Godfather, like just a masterpiece of a movie as a game.
And I would say counterpoint. I just finished Star Wars Battlefront 2 single player campaign. It was about 6 hours long, and that was too short. That game needed to be 10 hours long or 11 hours long, or they needed to not try and span 20 years.
Right.
You know, either that game could have been a great game about one person. They could have easily chopped out all of the levels where you weren't playing as, I don't remember what her name is, but the new female character that it was an Empire person. You end up playing as Lando, and you end up playing as Leia, and you end up playing as Han Solo, and you end up playing as Luke. I love
playing as these characters, but it's not what the story's about.
Yeah, like chop out those, and great. I think that game could have been 6 hours long, but with all of those, it needed to be 10 or 12.
Right.
But I mean, I think that's the sweet spot. Is probably
Because I know I told you Okami's
8 to
like
16.
36 hours, and you're all, ugh.
I'd love to play it. To play it, but I'm probably not
halfway
going
through
to. Yeah.
Halfway through,
Yeah.
at least. Actually, I think I'm farther than halfway through.
Yeah. So I don't know.
All right. Colby asks us, with the release of Shadow of the Colossus, the big reboot that's happening, like 3 weeks from now, 2 weeks from now?
Comes out real soon.
I'm
Yeah.
excited for it. What other game would you like to see get this treatment? He's not sure if anybody's asked this.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. I would love to see, Ico redone, because it's a very similar, I think it's same studio even. Ico was a gorgeous game for the PS2.
Sure.
But I would really like to see updated versions of games like Jak and Daxter.
Yeah. That actually just got re-released.
But it's just an HD reskin kind of blah,
full
blah, blah.
redo.
Yeah, I'd
the
like to see a
reboot.
full on, we're going to redo everything, not just skins, but controls, everything.
Yep.
And just bring it into the new, because those are the 3D platformers that I remember the most.
Yeah.
Mario
I think
64
I think 3D
place.
platformers we might have to give another year or two. I still don't think people have quite figured out how that's going to work. Ukulele was supposed to be the big one. It was kind of meh.
Everybody's like,
Yeah.
I think it
Mario's
kind of
good,
had
though, I
its
guess.
golden age.
Yeah.
I think between Banjo-Kazooie on the N64 and then into the PS2 era when you had Ratchet and Clank and Jak and Daxter. I think those were the golden years of 3D platformers.
Yeah.
And
So now,
from
do you
there-
consider things like Devil May Cry or whatever? Do you call that 3D platform or more 3D action?
action platform?
Yeah.
Well, it's an action platformer, but I don't
There's
think
not a
it's
lot of platforming.
Yeah.
I've never played any of the DMC
Oh,
games.
they're so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first 3 or 4 of the original ones, they are hard, but they're so good.
Hard.
Yeah, that's kind of what I would think. Something like that.
Yeah.
Man.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I would really.
You guys are so polite.
I know, right? We're practically Canadian. Look at that hat. I would really. To me, it's like two types of games. I would really like a lot of the 8 and 16-bit Nintendo JRPGs. Final Fantasy 3 or 6, depending on how you like to number things. I would love that game to be redone with modern controls and remove all the crap grind from it. I want to play a streamlined version of that game where I don't have to spend. I mean, do you remember playing those games where you're like, oh hey, there's a great way to grind XP here, and I'm just going to walk onto the screen and kill these 3 things, and then walk off the screen again,
then
walk onto the screen again.
17 hours.
Oh my god. I would love to play those games without the grind, and I would love to play Half-Life and Half-Life 2 remastered. Half-Life 2, the original Half-Life's kind of getting redone as the Black Mesa project, and it's really fun to play. But even that, I think, could have been done a little bit better. There's still stuff in that game that is not perfect, but make those a little more modern. I love both those games. I'd love to play them again. So
Sweet. Cool.
Dylan?
Mercenaries.
I don't know that game.
I didn't play it, but I remember.
Yeah. Just a big open world game, but I just think that game would be really cool.
Yeah.
Rebooted. Again, not a remaster. I don't want to just play that game. I just want it to be from the ground up. I want to make a bunch of money being a mercenary, and I want to buy crazy things to make my jobs easier, like airstrikes. That's what this game's about. It's just crate dropping the weapons that I need to do this mission. And with a big open destructible world, now is the perfect time to see this game again. The second one was B quality. It just wasn't quite at the notch that the first one was, and that was on the Xbox 360 or that generation. So I'd love to see another one of those. I also am a huge fan of the PS2 era Punisher game.
Yeah.
I really want that game again.
I think that there's a huge amount of PS1, OG Xbox, PS2 games that I would love to see redone because they just did not hold up.
Yeah, they're
so ugly. N64, there's probably a ton of games that you could re-engine and redo that would be great.
I'd love to see Mario 64 re-engine.
Yeah.
I have my real answer now.
Turok?
Yes.
You're done.
First Turok, but with playable controls, which they actually did. They put it on the PC recently.
What about? They did.
Resident Evil.
GoldenEye?
Yeah, that one would probably be good too, and we'll realize how it's not actually that great. But Resident Evil, please redo those games and change the way they control.
Make it so you can shoot and walk?
Yeah, why?
Yeah.
Why?
It's
impossible.
I don't even know originally why.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because on the original PS1, you didn't have analog sticks, for one.
Oh, is that why?
Oh my gosh, you
didn't have
did
analog
you?
sticks. You were just working with a D-pad.
So you'd have to move, and then you would have to pull the trigger to go into your aiming. Yeah, that makes sense.
Holy cow. God.
That's okay. I'm old.
So,
the month older you are than me doesn't
a lot of wisdom came in that month.
I mean, Turok was the kind of the same way, though, when you played on the... I mean, you had one single analog stick, but you used your C buttons to move. So you actually use buttons like you would a keyboard. Like you use the C buttons to move forward and backwards and side to side.
My brain right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's rough.
It could have been done, but yeah, that's probably honestly easier. Other than it's stupid. So fix the old Resident Evil games. I'm sure they're great, and I want to play them.
Thank you for that question, Colby. All right, and that's it with the questions. If you have questions for us, you can always drop us a line in our Discord. We've got a separate channel just for questions.
Hey.
So yeah, or you can email us by podcast.com.
Congratulations to the LA Valiant on winning their inaugural game of Overwatch.
There you go.
I don't know who they are. It's fine.
Perfect.
You will in time,
I'm sure. All right, so Cheap Free Games really quick. Humble Bundle, your monthly bundle. Are we talking about the one for next month?
Yeah.
Because it's a big game.
Right?
Right off the top.
I paid $60 for this a year ago.
Yeah, it's not even been out a full year, I don't think.
I don't think so. Real close to a year. Yeah.
So Civ 6.
Plus both of its DLCs.
Yep.
Which is like the Australians
yes.
or something?
Yeah, $12-ish for your Humble Bundle monthly subscription.
Yeah, and Humble Bundle monthly.
Humble Bundle monthly.
Thank you. Is not you don't have to pay for it for 12 months or 6 months. You could literally say, I love Civilization. I want to pay $12 for it right now,
and you don't
then
have to
cancel.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if you like PCs and you like amazing strategy games, like...
Oh, man, see, and I missed this because I let my subscription lapse. So I didn't get this current month.
The Perfect Dark and Quantum Break and
Shadow Tactics. Wait, Elder Scrolls Online.
That was the month before.
Oh, I don't think I got that. Elder Scrolls Online, Shadow Tactics, Res 5, Resident Evil 5. Oh.
Yeah, this month it was Tomb Raider and Quantum Break and Sleeping Dogs and The Longest Dark.
Sleeping Dogs?
Yeah. Yeah, there were some really good... Dawn of War 3, I think. There were some really good games this month.
Crapstick.
Yeah, Mr. Shifty, which I know Dylan really liked on the PS.
I really want to play that.
Switch.
Yeah. Get on the Switch, it's fun.
Yeah, for $12 a month,
$10.
like Humble Bundle monthly is 100% worth it. 100%.
Fine. Fine.
Do it.
When I want to play the Civ 6 game.
Yeah.
Because I tried Civ 5. I tried that. And I'm like, I don't know what's happening. I don't understand. So it might be a bit much.
It's one of those games where you just have to
play through a game. And then you go into game 2 being like, okay. Yeah. I understand how long it kind of takes.
And man,
at the beginning, you're like cavemen. So don't expect to, build a city.
I will tell you a thing about Civ 5. When I actually, before I moved out here to Seattle, I came out here about once a month for 4 months to meet with people and stuff. And I just gotten Civ 5. And day one, did my stuff at work, went back to my hotel. I'm like, I'm gonna play a couple turns of Civ 5. And about 2 o'clock in the morning, I was like, oh shoot, I need to go to work in the morning. And went back to bed. And the next day I came home, like, hey, I got an hour before I need to go to bed. I'm only gonna play for an hour. And 12:30, I'm like, oh crap, I gotta wake up. I'm so tired.
Yeah, so just one more turn.
Man, that game is addiction. It's like. It's good.
So yeah, if you're a Civ fan, go grab that right now because that unlocks, I think, in the first week of February.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Pay for it now. You can get it now, though.
Oh really?
Yeah, I think so.
See, I didn't know that. All right, Troll Corner. Let's wrap it up this week because I've got my own kind of Troll Corner. It's funny you put this in here.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be a new Xbox dashboard.
Oh geez, really?
Apparently.
That's weird.
And I always
the
hate
old
when
one came out
I
6
hate
weeks ago?
Yeah.
Because I don't know how to use it. I just got used to the last
The
one.
new one's good,
I
too.
still like the Xbox 360 one the best.
Yeah.
With the blades?
Yeah.
Where you would shift the screens
Yeah, like pages.
Yeah.
I liked it.
All right.
Made
That
sense.
was the easiest.
It made sense. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
I do like it. It's just not. It's not as intuitive as I would think a Windows product would be.
I noticed something about the current Xbox One dashboard, if that's what we're calling it. User interface.
Sure.
So there was a bug that was happening, and it was a big deal because I could fix it. I knew how to fix it. But
what was the bug?
So if I hit the home button, the center button, nothing would happen.
Thank you.
That's the same bug Adam
what's
has.
happening with
Right.
mine. I'll push it, the screen will dim like it's supposed to pop
Right,
up, and you'll hear the noise.
But do you know what's
it's not
really
there.
stupid about that?
No,
you
tell
can't
me, please.
access settings without the center button.
Exactly. That's because I want to go through.
You can't get to settings in
Oh,
your
weird.
normal
Yeah.
Have you been
menus.
able to fix it?
Yeah, you just hold the Xbox button and hard reset it. to hold your power button on your console.
And that's what I told him is do it and then or unplug it.
Yeah,
And
or
then
just hold it and it will actually power down. Otherwise, it just sleeps.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have to hold the,
So you just have to do a
the
hard
touch
reset.
button,
Because I've been
let
sitting
it
here
shut
going
down,
like,
and then hit it again, and it'll turn on and it'll be fine.
because I started watching Spider-Man Homecoming on my 4K HDR Blu-ray drive, blah, 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 which is beautiful, by the way. But I'm like, I know there's a way to pump up the brightness via the settings. So I was trying to get into it, and I'm like, weird noise. I can't get into
How
it.
can I not get to settings without?
Yeah, and then I couldn't find a
there's
way to
not
get
a
to settings anywhere.
cube in the cubes or
Strange.
whatever it is. Like
One of the
you
problems
have
I'm
to
having
hit
with
the
mine
home
right
button.
now is when I'm in a party with other people, up in the upper left hand corner, I get little indicators to tell me who's talking, and I cannot figure out how to turn them off.
Yeah.
It's really obnoxious.
Well, I know they're putting in a do not disturb feature, and
Yeah,
the
that's
update
really
coming
cool.
out. That'll be cool.
in like a offline, like you was that what it was?
That's
like,
a do not disturb where
yeah,
you
the
can
do
like,
not
hey, I'm
disturb,
playing a
so
single player
I'm
game,
playing
leave me
a game,
alone.
don't bug me.
Yeah, because it's funny. Like I was watching some streamers do PUBG because I wanted to see how they were playing on
Yeah.
Xbox, and they kept getting their Xbox notifications
Yeah.
right there in the middle of it. I'm like, oh my god, can you turn that off?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
anyway,
All right.
all right, that's that. Follow us on all the social medias at Bite Me Podcast, bitemepodcast.com. That's BYTE Me Podcast.
That's why I like having Adam here. He does that way better than I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or faster at least.
Yeah.
You'd be like BYT. How
You're
do
like,
I
I
spell?
forget how to
I forgot how to spell.
Yeah. But yeah, so follow us, jump in our Discord, just go to bitemepodcast.com and click on the little link up in the upper right-hand corner and come talk with us.
It'll be perfect.
I need to get, I say this, I need to get more active in there. It's been
The holiday,
it's been a month.
it's
The
all
holidays.
forgivable during the holidays.
Seriously.
Between October, halfway through October, and now, and halfway through January, like all is forgiven.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? You're good.
Okay,
But
cool.
now we expect greatness. We're gonna play PUBG. We're gonna play Overwatch and MOBAs.
Maybe some hots.
You know what, MOBAs? I know myself too well. Like, I wanted to throw my fist through a concrete wall just playing Final Fantasy 15 or 14. I'm not even going to touch a MOBA. Not even doing
Touch it.
Not even. I'll touch it with a bomb.
There you go.
Yeah. Anyway, until next week, you can just
Bite me.
rude.
Bite me.
Thanks, Mixer people.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.